Hi everyone. Today, uh, I'm gonna review Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the reboot of the franchise after the failed attempt by Tim Burton. And this movie, I got some history with this movie. Before I get to what I think about the movie, I'm gonna tell you what I thought before it came out. Pretty much, when I heard about this movie, I originally thought it was going to be a prequel. I said, screw this movie, a prequel, and I thought it was going to be a prequel to Tim Burton's movie. Either way, a prequel, either the original or the Tim Burton movie. I didn't want to see. I didn't care. I didn't give a shit to see it, especially after the Tim Burton's crappy film. But and the trailer didn't do anything for me. But the one person that I knew, I didn't know anybody who was looking forward to Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The only person that was my cousin. He's saying, "Oh, this movie's gonna be the best movie of the summer. It looks awesome." And I was telling him, "No, no, dude, it looks shitty. It looks stupid." But he said, "No, no, 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 it's gonna be great. You're wrong." And he got to see it, when it opened, on opening day. And he told me it was great. You have to see it. Please see it. And I was just like, "No, wait, I'll wait to DVD." He's like, "No, no, no, you have to see it." I'm like, "Fine, fine, fine. I'll see the damn movie." So, a day after he saw it, I saw it with him, and it was a packed crowd. I had my low expectations. I was like, okay, it better be at least watchable. And like 30 minutes in, I was like, I turned to him and say, "This movie's really good. This movie's really good." And I'll get to a certain scene and my reaction, my genuine reaction to it. But you know what I'm talking about. You probably already guessed what I'm talking about. But pretty much, it wasn't a prequel. It was a reboot, which is fine. I originally thought it was gonna be a prequel, but James Franco, he plays a scientist. He he wants to cure. He wants trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease because his father has Alzheimer's and he's slowly dying, and he wants to help him. A good son would naturally do. And he's been working on this cure for years. He's been testing on chimps, on apes. One day, pretty much, his one of his main apes goes crazy, Bright Eyes, which is a reference to the original, which I didn't mind. But they shoot her, and they find out that she had a baby, and she was just trying to protect it. Even though it kind of doesn't make sense, and they wouldn't know because they test apes pretty much every day, and they didn't know that she was pregnant. I mean, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But not really. And then Gene Franco starts taking care of the baby ape, and his dad, played by John Lithgow, names him Caesar because he's been reading Julius Caesar, I believe. That's why he named him Caesar, and so pretty much Jane Franco raises Caesar, and because they were testing the cure, the medicine on damn neighbors, the medicine on the apes, and Caesar was born. He got it passed on to him naturally, and he's naturally smart, and James Franco taught him, and Caesar's getting smarter and smarter by the year, and years pass by, and he's as smart as any person can be, and then eventually a few years pass on, and Caesar starts realizing I shouldn't be a pet. James Franco keeps him on a leash just to protect him. He doesn't treat him badly or anything. He treats him like a son, but also treats him like a pet. He's just being protective. Maybe a little too overprotective, but pretty much Caesar, he starts questioning how things are, and Andy Serkis, who plays Caesar, he does the motion capture acting. He does an amazing job, and he really blew me away. And the CGI to him and all the other apes really, really, really impressed me. And so yeah, pretty much, there was a misunderstanding. He attacks the neighbor. I wish he could attack my neighbors. Just kidding. He bites his asshole neighbor finger off, and because he was yelling at John Lithgow, because John Lithgow, after James Franco injected him with the cure, he got better, but a few years passed by, and he got worse. And he was driving the neighbor's car accidentally, and neighbor got mad, and Caesar, misunderstood, and he bit the finger off the guy, and they take Caesar to pretty much ape jail, where he gets abused by Tom Felton, aka Draco Malfoy from the Harry Potter movies. He's a bigger asshole in this movie, except he's American, and pretty much Caesar, he gets abused. He's sick of the shit, so he starts a revolution. He becomes pretty much the leader of the apes and their ape jail, and they break free. Oh, hold on. Before I get to the very end, I want to say that the scene. I have to mention the two lines, because first, I expected the movie. Before I saw the movie for the first time, I expected a character to say, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape." And it was Tom Felton, who plays the asshole in the movie, an ape jail. The asshole guard. He says the line after he tries to hit Caesar with the stick, and Caesar grabs his hand. He blocks it, and he says the famous line, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape." And after he said that, I was like, I knew he was gonna say it. In the theater, I'm like, I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say. And then all of a sudden, Caesar says, "No." And I swear to God, when he said that in the theater, everybody was silent, and I was just like, I literally yelled out, "What the f-" And then before I said the F word, I covered my mouth because, there's kids around. I don't want to get shit for that. But that was my natural reaction to Caesar saying no. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then my cousin, who loved the movie, he's watching the second time. He was sitting next to me, and he started cracking up for like 5 minutes straight because of how I reacted. And by the way, I've never had that kind of reaction to anything in the theater, at least. Not like that. That shocked me, and that got me yelling out loud in the theater. And it was super. Everyone else was super. There was no gasp, and I didn't remember that. I was just silence. I think people jaws just dropped. What? And I was the one who yelled out. So I'm pretty sure people didn't hear me. I don't know. But yeah, my cousin was laughing for like 5 minutes straight, like, I can't believe you said that. But that's the power of film, guys. But yeah, then Caesar, I mean, he takes the cures, from James Franco and gives it to all the other apes, and they get a little bit more smarter as well. And they tear shit apart, and Golden Gate Bridge, a really good action scene. Um, they don't really kill the cops like they did in Conquest, which is it's almost like a remake to Conquest, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but only better. Rise is better, in my opinion. But they don't kill the cops. They only kill the people that were in the helicopter, including James Franco's boss. I forget the actor's name. You've seen him. He was in The Butler. He played the son of Forrest Whitaker in The Butler. And he's been in other stuff, but he's pretty much the bad guy, the evil boss, the main villain of the movie, and he besides Tom Felton, but they kill him, and that's pretty much it. They beat up all the cops, but they would purposely kill anyone. Caesar says, don't, he goes like, no, don't kill him. But so pretty much, Caesar and all the apes, they run free in the forest, and he has final words with James Franco. It says, I am home. Caesar is home. They go off, and one thing I haven't mentioned was that like there's a scene where they test on an ape, and something happens, and smoke spreads, and it's actually a disease. And one of the doctors gets it, which is played by the fat guy from Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but yeah, he gets he gets infected pretty much, and he's looking for James Franco in one scene, and he actually accidentally sneezes on the asshole neighbor, and he gets it as well, and in the end, and the James Franco's friend, the doctor, he ends up dying, and the infection is on the asshole neighbor, who was a pilot, and he goes to the airport, and he has, in the end credits, well, not the end, the mid credit scene, during the credits, you see him going to the airport, and his nose is bleeding, and you see that in the map that where all the infection is spreading all over the world, and pretty much that's where it leads up to the sequel. But I thought, oh, okay, I don't mind that change. That works for me, because in the original it was wars and the powers human people higher power of people can have, wars and shit, that killed humanity, and in the original 1968 film. But this one is deceased. I don't mind the change. It works for me. But yeah, the movie was really, really fucking good, and Andy Serkis was great as Caesar. He needs to something that I don't think, some people say this. I agree that sometimes he doesn't get enough recognition. Yeah, let me say that word again. Recognition for his acting in motion capture. He's Gollum, King Kong, and he's great in here as Caesar. Like I said, the CGI of the apes, I was really impressed by it, especially the orangutan, who, when I see that, Caesar befriends an orangutan when he's locked up in ape jail. That's why I call it. The orangutan, I guess he's CG because he looks 100% real to me. So I don't know if you guys think, if you guys agree or disagree or whatever. Leave that in the comment section. But he looked real to me. And yeah, the CGI was great. Action was really good. Like I said, Andy Serkis was great. The rest of the characters, they're good, but I thought they could have been a little bit better. James Franco, he's decent, or more. He has done better performances, like in 127 Hours and a few other films. But I thought this wasn't his best performance, but it also wasn't bad. It was decent for what it was. John Lithgow was good. The villains might have been, a little bit one-dimensional, but they did good, in my opinion. Brian Cox, who owns the Ape Jail, he was decent. Tom Felton, I thought he was decent. The main villain, James Franco's boss, I thought he did a decent job. The actors, it's just the characters they played, the villains, were one note pretty much. They're just being assholes pretty much. But they did a good job anyway. I haven't mentioned her, Frida Pinto, who plays James Franco's girlfriend, who is like a veterinarian. She doesn't do much. I mean, she's just there to be James Franco's girlfriend. But she was decent for the scenes she was in. She didn't do much, but hey, she's beautiful, and she tried what she was given with. I can't complain that much. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those films where it surprised the hell out of me. I had the lowest of low expectations for this movie, and it proved me wrong. I always like it when movies prove me wrong. It's happened before, Men in Black 3 was another example, but that's another review. But yeah, so this was a great way to restart the franchise, and hopefully they continue on and make let's see what they can do. What the sequel, which is coming out this weekend, and I will see it opening weekend, and I will review it, so look out for that. And also I'm gonna do other reviews, and check out, I'm gonna leave links to where else you can find me. I do podcasts, I'm on Twitter, and stuff like that. So stay tuned for more reviews and more videos. And Rise of the Planet of the Apes was great. So adios.